A U.S. intelligence official tells Reuters Russia is moving nuclear-capable missiles into Kaliningrad, a tiny Russian enclave sitting between Poland and Lithuania. The official says Russia has done this previously for training purposes, but he concedes it could also be a show of strength. President Obama's top diplomat took a break from being diplomatic today and calling for Russia to be investigated for war crimes in Syria. That tough talk, though, did not last. Correspondent Doug McKelway is at the White House tonight with the latest foreign policy flip-flop.
It was an unprecedented call by Secretary of State John Kerry.
These are acts that beg for an appropriate investigation of war crimes.
Kerry claimed that Russian aircraft bombed another hospital in Syria overnight, killing 20 and wounding 100 more.
Those who commit these would and should be held accountable for these actions.
Then later today, the State Department pulled back on Kerry's call for a war crimes investigation.
Not a new idea for him that these are violations of international law, and we have long said that people should be held to account.
While the U.S. was sending mixed signals, Russia was matching its air campaign with escalated rhetoric, too. That after the Pentagon yesterday promised to continue its own airstrikes on ISIS targets in Syria.
I remind U.S. strategists that air cover for the Russian military bases in Tartus and Memem include S-400 and S-300 anti-aircraft missile systems, the range of which may come as a surprise to any unidentified flying objects.
Russia knows that whatever diplomatic opposition the Obama administration throws in its way is done with the consent of the UN. But all previous attempts to condemn Syrian President Assad in the UN have been blocked by Russia and China.
We've been disappointed that they have used that veto to protect Assad.
Administration critics say that even a unilateral U.S. threat of a war crime investigation would be seen as toothless by Russia and Syria.
The fact is they are taking advantage in a particularly brutal way of America's failure for 5 years now to respond to the carnage in Syria.
Emboldened by what critics call the Obama administration's passivity, some fear Russia is inching uncomfortably close to a shooting war with the U.S.
If I were going to move against the United States or one of its close friends and allies, I would do it between now and January the 20th without regard to who wins on November the 8th.
Russia is also testing the patience of other countries. Just this week, the French Defense Ministry revealed that Russian bombers buzzed the coastlines of Norway, of the UK, France, and Spain, forcing each of those 4 countries to scramble their fighter jets. Brett?
Doug, today marks the 15th anniversary of the war in Afghanistan, longest war in U.S. history. Any new developments there?
There have been some new developments, in fact, Brett. Just this week, the Taliban invaded the northeastern city of Kunduz. 4 days after that attack, there remains sporadic fighting there. After 15 years of fighting, the Taliban remains a formidable but greatly diminished fighting force, controlling about 20% of the countryside in Afghanistan. Also this week, another U.S. soldier died in Afghanistan from an IED attack. He is one of 2,200 Americans to die there. Another 20,000 plus Americans have been wounded over 15 years of fighting. Brett?
Doug McKelway live on the North Lawn. Doug, thank you.